Hey everybody, this is John Stauffer. I'm here to bring you a little tech tip from streamingteacher.com. Today I want to talk about the autosave feature that's built into Mastercam. So one of the most annoying things about working on a computer is when something goes wrong and you lose your work. Maybe you're working on a laptop and Windows forgot to tell you that your battery is really low. Maybe you had a power outage and your computer shut down. Or, as can happen with any software, Mastercam happens to crash. In any of these scenarios, you could be losing a lot of work if you haven't built up your muscle memory to hit that save button. Luckily, Mastercam has a great answer for this, and that is the autosave feature. I want to show you some settings that are pretty common to use in the industry. Let's go to File, then Configuration. You'll find the autosave option inside of the Files tree. So let's talk about autosave first. Autosave is an automatic saving feature. And what this allows you to do is just kind of keep working and let Mastercam take care of saving for you. So first we talk about the interval. This is how often Mastercam saves your work. By default, this is set to 60 minutes, which for a lot of people is probably too long. 5 minutes is generally a pretty good setting to use for autosave because it's not so much time that you're going to lose a lot of work, but it's also not so frequent as to take up more space than needed. This checkbox for save using active file name means that you're going to be saving using the current file. So Mastercam will always try to save using that current file. The next checkbox allows you to overwrite your existing file name. So this means that that program that you're working on is constantly updated and you're not having to make new copies. This keeps a single copy of your file. While that can sound nice, it could actually be a downfall because if something happens to that file, you only have the one copy. It's up to you whether or not you want to use this. A good setting that's used frequently in the industry is to turn this setting on, but to turn this setting off. This allows you to create an extra copy of the program that you're working on in a local backup folder. We're going to talk about backup files soon, but in general, autosave can be seen as either saving over your current file or being used as a sort of local backup, just to have an extra copy of whatever you're working on. The next option is to disable the dirty solids warning. If you do have a dirty solid in your file, then checking this box will still save the file even with the dirty solid. This can be detrimental because it can be difficult to get back to the natural state of a solid once you save on a dirty solid. Most programmers generally leave this turned off. This option to prompt before saving the file gives you a pop-up message every time Mastercam wants to do an autosave. This gives some people peace of mind, but for others it can be an annoyance, especially when you have the interval set to a lower number like 5 minutes. Most programmers will turn this off. This option here for save after every operation is an extremely safe way to run your autosave. So every time you add in an operation or regenerate an operation, that's when it will do an autosave. When only using autosave, this can be great because it keeps you very up to date. But if you're also using backup files, it means that every time you make an operation, it will create an additional backup file. This can overwrite your backup files more quickly than you might expect. So whether or not you want to use this is definitely up to you. Most programmers generally leave this turned off. When you do have this checkbox turned off, you'll get to choose here where to set the file that you want to save. Next, we'll talk about backup files. So the backup files is an additional level of security for your programs. This creates another copy in a different location so that you have the peace of mind that your program is safe. By default, this checkbox is turned on to use a backup directory as defined in Files. If we go back to the Files tree, we'll see right here where it says Backup Files. This is another location for us to save the program to. Generally, this is set up as a network location so that you have an additional copy of your program on a network. Down here, we have these options for Start, Delimiter, Increment, and Max Limit. The way this works is as you add backup files, you'll get your normal program name with the delimiter at the end and then a number starting at this number. By default, this is set to 100. So this would be called pinch milling at 100 when it does the backup. On the next save, this is going to save another copy. That new copy is going to be called pinch milling at 100. The older copy would be called pinch milling at 101 because it increments at 1. You can have up to 10 copies. So in the end, you'll have up to pinch milling at 110. Once the file is saved for the 11th time, then the oldest version of the backup file gets thrown out, and then you only have the 10 most recent copies. This way you don't save too many copies. You can change your max limit increment and start number to whatever you'd like. We generally leave delimiter at the @ symbol. Since this is in configuration, you can hit the green check to save it, and that will save into your configuration, which can be migrated for new versions of Mastercam or copied to other machines in case you want to move to a different computer. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. But more importantly, if you want to learn Mastercam, come check out streamingteacher.com for more great Mastercam training like this.